Hello, everyone. Hope all of you are doing very well. I'm not going to waste much time and let's get to it. We're going to cover Kimi ni Todoke, also known as From Me to You. Okay, so let's start. Sawako, one of the main characters, from the very beginning, it can be sensed that she has a gloomy, eerie, spooky aura around her, which spooks people away. In her heart, she wants to socialize and befriend everyone else, but she fails to do so because of the vibe around her. But Kazehaya, the other main character, in a way he is completely different from Sawako. Kazehaya is charismatic, he is mesmerizing, he carries a natural charm that appears out of nowhere. What makes Kazehaya different from the other people to Sawako is the merely fact that Kazehaya doesn't get creeped out by Sawako, which in an instant makes him a very special existent in Sawako's life without her even knowing it. Sawako, of course, doesn't think she is worthy of Kazehaya, but she doesn't know the true feelings inside Kazehaya's heart, as from the very beginning it can be seen that he has indeed feelings for her, which is growing and hoping to reach her one day. It is thanks to Kazehaya that Sawako was able to start talking to Yano and Yoshida, two other minor characters, as Kazehaya is bringing the inner socializing Sawako out. Sawako never forgets who helps her and supports her, as she always shows her gratitude to those people, but it is difficult. Many people are still afraid of Sawako. But Sawako doesn't give up. Even when the seats in the classroom were changed, and everyone was afraid if they would have to sit next to Sawako, Sawako was hurt, but she still did not lose hope, only because of Kazehaya. We also see the introduction of another minor character, Ryu, or Sanada Ryu. Kazehaya knows exactly what he feels for Sawako, but Sawako still doesn't understand her feelings yet. There is a respect and admiration for Kazehaya, but more than that, there is something more powerful and meaningful lingering in her heart, that is love. We see a new homeroom teacher, Pin, that's his name. He's very cheerful. From the very first, communicates with Sawako. Basically, Pin communicates with Sawako, something that other people don't. I think Sawako represents that type of people that wants to socialize with others, but afraid people might find them too much creepy. We all have that one person in our life. In fact, the very person could be yourself, and the anime is showing us how to fight it, reject it, try our best to approach people even in the face of utter rejection. Many people start to spread rumors regarding Sawako, which results in Sawako distancing herself from Yoshida, Yano, and of course Kazehaya. She goes back to her usual lonely self, except this time she cannot bear it. Having tasted the fruit of companionship, it becomes increasingly hard for her to continue to be the way she is, but she cannot come back, feeling guilty for hurting Yoshida and Yano. Yoshida and Yano are the most hurt by the rumor, as they think Sawako doesn't think of them as their friend, which is of course not true, but Sawako inability to communicate properly and Yoshida and Yano not listening carefully makes things much more complicated. But Kazehaya clears up the misunderstanding and makes Sawako determined to properly communicate her thoughts to Yoshida and Yano. We see Sawako resisting the rumors and intervening. Sawako's love for Yoshida and Yano was put gracefully, and the rumor is put to death, and Sawako, Yoshida, and Yano, their bond gets stronger. When your parents know that it is very hard for you to get friends, but you indeed get friends, the happiness that they find is immeasurable, which is what happened with Sawako's parents when they found out about her friends. Smile is the best way to reach another person. But for Sawako, it's not smile, but her efforts that she wants to reach. But no love goes without struggle. As time passes, so does past encounter occurs. When you like someone and you see that person being comfy with another person who is way prettier and charismatic than you, slowly you start to think how you're losing the person you love. Your self esteem damps. That is what happens to Sawako when she saw Kazehaya with Kurumi, with Kurumi's actual intent still unknown. Sawako and Kurumi still becomes friends, with so much more things to come, more memories, which obviously includes pain and happiness, both mixed. And the love triangle manifests as Kurumi confesses to Sawako that she likes Kazehaya and she's doing everything to make sure she gets him. Kurumi, despite looking very sweet from the outside, actually carries a deep jealousy for Sawako and any other girls that try to get close to Kazehaya. She herself isn't confident enough to express her feelings to Kazehaya, but she does everything to make sure she has no competitor. There is no question that the real Kurumi comes out every time she speaks with Sawako. Kurumi starts to put doubt in Sawako's mind whether what she feels for Kazuha is actually love or not. She even goes to devise a plan using Sanada as a tool, making it seem as if Sanada and Sawako are in love in front of Kazuha. Sanada's love for Chizuru also gets revealed. The most important question: what is romantic feelings? Something Sawako cannot still make sense of, but Sanada helps her to understand it. How love is not to be understood logically, but to be felt. There is no word to describe it in objective manner. But Kurumi's all plan fails, as Kazuha doesn't take the bait. Sawako and Kazuha clears all the misunderstanding between them, making their bond stronger, whereas Yoshida and Yano find out that it was Kurumi that spread the rumor. Gathering all necessary evidence, eventually they confront her. Sawako also arrives there. Kurumi finally confesses to Sawako that she was the one doing all the terrible things. Kurumi showing how she has no regret for using people, how she never thought of Sawako as her friend despite saying so much friendly and kind things to her. But Sawako has a side to her where she, no matter what, tries to see the good person try to see the good in a person. She does the same with Kurumi, reminiscing how Kurumi was the first one to call her Sawako and not Sadako, and many other things that didn't feel like fake at all. Sawako again talks with Kurumi in order to make up with her. Sawako is amazed by seeing how much Kurumi loves Kazuha and how helpless she is. Sawako realizes that what Sawako finds more amazing about Kurumi is not her beauty, but her love towards Kazuha. Not every person who is bad is born bad. Kurumi has her own past. How many people in her class thought how she was using different boys, how she actually did not have any friends, and many of them are using her. But Kazehaya was different. Kazehaya saw Kurumi for who she truly was, which made her fall in love with him. Because of Sawako, Kurumi started to embrace her actual self, deciding to confess her feelings to Kazeha, but Kazeha, being in love with Sawako, declines her feelings. Kurumi, being hurt but ultimately still accepts it, a huge load lifted off her heart. She still has feelings for him, but decides to accept reality. Kurumi and Sawako decides to become rival rather than bitter enemy. Accepting their differences, Sawako, after all these times, finally understands why she fell in love with Kazeha in the first place. It was him calling with her name, same as Kurumi. When you call a person by their authentic and actual name from the very first, it always feels personal. It makes you feel special as if you are a centerpiece of their perception. When you love someone and you see that person taking care of somebody in the same way you want them to take care of you or to be taken care of, there's no question that Kazeha feels that way towards Sawako. Getting jealous seeing Sawako taking care of Pin when she gets sick. Pin also reveals Kazeha's secret to Sawako, which Sawako applies and almost a very special moment of this entire series unlocked, but stopped at the very last moment, keeping the tension intact for another moment in the near future. There is no question that Kazehaya and Sawako are the main center of this series, but that doesn't mean that other characters don't have their lives. Yoshida and Sanada are the other characters. We already know Sanada loves Yoshida, but it gets revealed that Yoshida doesn't like Sanada, but likes his elder brother Tohru. Sanada, being straightforward, decides to express his feeling regardless of that showing how confident he is. But that opportunity doesn't come up easily, ultimately showing how keeping a feeling of love intact is just as hard as any friendship. Confronting our feelings require effort. Heartbreak is such a strong concept and feeling in our lives. Many people handle it in their own way. There is no correct way to handle a heartbreak. Yoshida, despite having feelings for Tohru, gets to know that Tohru has a girlfriend who is soon to be his wife, diminishing all of Yoshida's effort. Yoshida, being a strong girl, trying her best to be positive, but Sawako can see the pain through her smile. There's a concept, after all, how a smile hides more than it shows. For Yoshida, perhaps that was intended. Her wish to be Toru's bride will never come true. But we don't know what is best for us. Maybe something more significant exists in Yoshida's life that she doesn't even know, but only time can tell. Keeping your pain inside only makes it heavier and more painful. But Yoshida finally deciding to let her feelings go, crying her heart out, her pain, complaining about how she mishandled giving Sanada his birthday gift, complaining how inconsiderate Sanada was being. While no one knows whether those are Yoshida's true feelings, but one can tell how she's uplifting her heart, seizing her pain. Sanada brings Tohru, and Yoshida decides to confess her feelings. But you cannot change the inevitable. A story simply takes her confession as non-romantic, only expressing and accepting it as an older brother. Yoshida for sure knows that no matter how much she loves him, Toru will always see her as a little sister. Yoshida finally accepts her state, crying, feeling sad, but Sanada is there for her. Now Yoshida can for surely move on, and Sanada can be ever more determined that one day, if not today, if not tomorrow, he will get to the bottom of Yoshida's heart. Sawako only close people were her father and mother, but as she has made many friends, her circle has become bigger. She always spent Christmas with her parents. She is she is her parents' hope and admiration, which made her feel obliged to spend Christmas with them. But her new friends and the man she loves is there too. That connection being new and strong, ultimately she goes to them to spend the Christmas and her parents accept it cordially, showing how you can keep old connection while building and strengthening new connection. With only 30 minutes to New Year Eve, the anime is reaching its final stages, as Sawako and Kazehaya are together for New Year and Sawako's birthday. These days are always special, but will it become even more special for Kazehaya and most importantly for Sawako? Only few moments left to go. Only 15 minutes to New Year. For Sawako, her special gift being able to spend this New Year Eve with Kazehaya. She reminiscing about her past, her childhood, and how meeting Kazeha changed her life. How Kazeha inspired her. She thinks if it wasn't for Kazeha, she could not been able to make the friends she did along the way. Ultimately, acknowledging how important Kazehaya is for her. As the new year arrives, the pain of the past should be forgotten, new strings to be made, new beginnings. As Sawako and Kazeha spend their new year together, their bond becoming stronger. Sanada and Yoshida getting closer. No one knows what will happen, what this year awaits, but they can only hope for the best. May the spirit be with them. May the new year bring more moments of peace, happiness, and prosperity reach them. And that was the first season of Kimi ni Todoke. Thank you, everyone.